Have you ever had one of those moments in which no one understands you? No one can truly understand the pain that you're experiencing right now. I mean, how can they? It hasn't happened to them, or it didn't happen to them the same way. So, what do you do in those moments? Well, today's lesson is all about reminding ourselves that the Lord is near and He's always there for us when we reach out to Him. Hello, everyone. This is Maureen, and welcome to my crochet story. I want to thank each and every one of you who stop by every day to share my daily devotionals with you that come from this little red book titled Be Still and Know. Now, if you are interested in this little red book put out by Broad Street Publishers, you'll find a link for it down in the description box in which you can go and purchase your own copy. Now, you don't have to follow along with me, but sometimes we like to have our own little books to jot down notes in, maybe write down an experience and come back and reflect on it later. Now, the devotional for this morning is titled, The Lord is Near. And the Bible verse that will go along with our discussion comes from Psalms 145, 18, and 19. But before we get into it, let me say thank you to each and every one of you who come and know the importance of taking the time to be still and let God talk to you, and you take a moment to talk to Him. All I ask of all of you is to be sure and leave a little like button. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that little red button there in the corner. It'll let you know every time I upload content, especially my daily devotionals. The Lord is near to all who call on Him, to all who call on Him in truth. He fulfills the desires of those who fear Him, and He also hears their cry and saves them. The Lord is not only near to those who call on Him in every single morning, He's not only there to those who live a sinless life or to those who speak with eloquence. God's near to all who call on Him in truth. He is near to everyone whose heart is genuine before Him. God's love is enough to close the distance between heaven and earth and to allow our voice to be heard. Do you long for the presence of God? Then step into it. It is truly that simple. There are days when we miss His presence and we desire His closeness, but we forget in that moment that it's always been ours for the taking. Jesus demolished every single barrier that could ever stand between us and God. So quiet your hearts, enter His presence, and speak your mind. He listens, He cares, and He answers. Heavenly Father, thank you that you are near to me, and thank you that I don't have to jump through loops to stand in your presence. You are a good Father, a loving Father. So hear my heart today and give me the peace to wait for your answer. I cannot think of a deeper, horrific pain than losing a child. I really can't. I carried a little boy for about 5 months, and then I lost him. It still is a pain today that is hard for me to fathom. That little boy would have been 40 this year. And I look at people, young men that are around that age, and I think, that's what he might have looked like right now today. Or look at that sweet family. I wonder how many grandchildren I would have had from him. But what ifs, what could have been, that's not healthy for me to live in. I don't know the reason why I experience that. I truly don't. But it is a pain that still hurts today. But I cannot imagine a greater pain than what God felt when he saw his son die on the cross. I just can't imagine it. So I got off kind of easy. I mean, I really did. But I still can't imagine his pain, nor can I imagine the pain for those of you that saw your child be born and get to a certain age before you lost them. Your pain is going to be different than mine because you had more time with that child. We all experience grief in so many different ways, and we all get through our grief in many different ways. And I know that grief can continue forever or for as long as we live. But to get through that grief, we have to remind ourselves that we're not experiencing that alone. We truly aren't. Because not only do we have family members that experience that grief as well, maybe not to the same degree that we do, or our grief is maybe not the same degree as theirs, but God is there for all of us in any stage of grief that we're going to. We just have to remember that not only is he near, he's waiting for us to reach out and to talk to him about it. He really is. And it's not only grief that he wants us to talk to him about. He wants us to talk to him when we have stress. He wants us to talk to him when we have anger. He wants us to talk to him when you're confused and we've reached that crossroads in our lives where is it to the left? Is it to the right? Do I keep going? Do I stand still? What do I do in this moment? God is there for everything. Jesus broke down any barrier that we could imagine that would keep us from talking to God, to coming into his presence, seeking his guidance, his love, and his comfort. All we have to do is sit, excuse me, be still, block out everything else in our lives, and truly talk to God. Can you do it in a subway train? Sure you can. Just close your eyes. Take a moment. Can you do it while you're standing in line at the grocery stores? Check out. Sure you can. We all have the ability, if we want to truly concentrate on talking to God. Now, is it better to be in a quiet place where there are no distractions? Sure it is. But God doesn't necessarily tell us, you got to wait until you get home and turn off the TV, make sure the kids are occupied, or maybe after they've gone to bed or before they get up in the morning. He's not setting a specific time in which you need to talk to him. He is there at any moment. He's just standing there waiting. The Lord is always near. He loves us. He cares for us. And he listens to us when we bring to him what it is that's on our hearts and minds. I do hope that you've enjoyed today's devotional. If you know of someone who needs to hear these words today, please be sure and share it out. Until tomorrow, always remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your light they need to see. I love you guys, and thanks for stopping by. Bye.